Well, first of all, it ends when the hostages are back. It can happen today if Hamas decides to renounce power and give back their hostage. And it happens when you see a responsible Palestinian player assuming power it does. Now,
Who is that player going to be?
well, there are many alternatives. The only instance, the local candidates, local tribes. We see those who be demonstrating as we know that there are tribes and families that are willing to take over. Hamas is just impeding them from them to do so. So we would have to put more military pressure. Nobody's going to really invest in the Gaza Strip in the construction or the location if Hamas is there. Okay, so I think it's a common hinge.
What if the Palestinians who live there don't want to look the Gaza Strip? For them, that's the only, they don't.
It's not the only. I think that what the American administration will say is that we have to see the outside of it. You have many wars, unfortunately, that are going on in the region, outside the region. In Syria, you had 12 million people that were relocated. Some of them, about 6 million outside the country, 6 million inside the country. In the Ukraine war, you had about 5 million people at best. Only Gaza should be the place in which people are not allowed to be. So, according to a Gallup poll, about half of the people in the Gaza Strip want to leave. The question is, we are not going to go do it force. Is there countries that are willing to accept them with temporary until there's a construction effort there, and then they come back? That's okay, but we have to stop thinking in terms we thought in the past. That it's impossible to fight Hamas. That you have to with the fact that the terrorist civilization is going to rule the life of Palestinians. No, that game is over, and they have to introduce new ideas. Okay, so if there are countries that are willing to cooperate, the President Trump, we are, then we can try and do it.
So the Israeli government is in agreement with the plan. We are in full sync with the American policy. Now, how the American policy is going to be executed, that's another question.
Have you heard from your Arab allies, your America's Arab allies? Have you heard from them that they are in agreement with this plan? Because on the face of it, they said,
yeah, look, people think that people are seeking the altars. Okay, it's not that Israel is not interested to ethnically separate Gaza Strip. Okay, we never were in this game, and you saw that in the conflicts we had in the past, the Palestinian population only grew under Israeli rule. We never had a policy of getting rid of people or sending people away, and the idea of temporarily relocating people is in order to do the construction. That's it. And so if countries are going to object that, we are going to find countries that are willing to cooperate with that. And if we fail, then the Palestinians will have to live in very harsh conditions while the construction is being done. Okay? So who is going to pay the price of the failure of an American policy? The Palestinians are going to. So, okay? So I think people have to look at it or consider it. When it comes to our Arab neighbors, I think that we share a common interest not to see a continuation of Hamas ruling Gaza. So it was very clear, even in the Arab League resolution, to see, if you read between the lines, it's very clear that they don't want Hamas to stay. Okay? So the question is how we are going to achieve. As much as we have cooperation, either direct cooperation on the table or under the table, then there is a chance that Palestinian suffering will diminish. We have to be realistic about the situation. We have to find solutions. We have to promote a more moderate action. And we can do this together.